Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to nearly bloody said airfield then. Sand River Assault. We are on a 37% game, but we are defending. So there are 37% games, and then there are 37% games, and the way this assault game works now is that the defending team have a 99% chance to win. That is just how this map works. Before I introduce the tank and start talking about the stats, let's just do a quick overview of why this game mode is so impossible to win for the enemy team that spawns on the north and has to attack. So, any intelligent defending team will put people here, and I always go here. In whatever tank I'm in, I am never in any other position than this. I have never not used it. Not once since this map has changed have I not come into the middle no matter what bloody tank I'm in. And that's because it is so overpowered. No matter what mobility your tank has, no matter what ability it has, you can use this position to shoot over there and to shoot over here while only having to move about 50 meters up here. You can also come down there to work that position. You don't have to move at all, and yet you get to lock down both flanks. This position, as well as spotting here, is one of... I honestly think it's the most overpowered position in any map, in any game mode, in the entire game. For every kind of tank, it's just so ridiculously overpowered, and so whenever I spawn with a platoon and we're attacking on this map, we always come straight over the middle and we kill everything in this position. We go straight over there, kill everything there, and then hope to get out and live. And that's the only chance you have of winning this game, pretty much. Because if you push around there, you get shot from the middle. If you push around there, you get shot from the middle. It is... it's just so bad. This game mode is awful now that this map has been changed after the patch. I don't know why they changed it like they did. Should have just left it as it was. Now, we are playing in the T-54 lightweight, which is quickly becoming one of my favourite light tanks. Not the RU-251 is a better light tank. Let's just get that out of the way now. It is faster, it has a better gun. I mean, light tanks never boasted in armour. It's not what they're about. Light tanks are light support units. They're meant to be there when they're needed. Good supporting guns, you know, good view range. All of those things are fantastic qualities that a light tank enjoys boasting about. You know, those things make a good light tank. Armour does not, and that is where the T-54 lightweight comes into its own. It has 80mm of frontal armour and 60 on the side, which isn't impressive considering this tank will meet tier 9 and 10 tanks in every single game it plays. And so its hull armour is not what you're going to be boasting about. It's the turret armour, which is 160mm on the front of the turret. Now, it does have a weak turret roof like the T-54, but you can see the turret itself is a lot lower. It's a lot lower profile than the T-54's turret. But, I mean, the T-54's turret does have a bonus 40mm of armour at the front, so, you know, the T-54's sort of got from about 240mm of armour at the weakest on the face of the turret, expanding out to thick armor, well, not thick armor, but just better angled armor outwards. But this turret is 160 here if you can get it at a flat angle. It sort of goes from around 180-90mm of armor upwards of 200 depending on where you shoot it. So it's not amazing armor, but for a light tank it is amazing armor, you know. And that's why it's become one of my favourite light tanks, because it can do something. You know, this is one of the only tier 8 light tanks that can give you that level of confidence you need to make an aggressive play that you just wouldn't be able to make in any other light tank. The RU-251, WZ-132, although they might be, WZ has a better cannon rating, for example, that might be its advantage. The RU has a better gun, that might be its advantage. You know, they have advantages in different ways, but none of them can master the kind of confidence that having this tank armor gives you, because even if you don't realise it, when you play this tank, you'll probably play it more aggressively than other lights, and that just feels good. It's got the highest hit pool of any tier 8 light tank, 1,250. Put that in perspective, that is actually more than the saucepan, the Object 4 and 6, at tier 8 only has 1,200 hit points, and that's a medium. So, that's fun. Let's continue with the game while I'm on log. So, you're seeing me work the middle position here, and I'm just thinking, nah. Hello, Archie! 261 and T-92, both likely to be pretty aimed in the centre, so I'm not interested in exposing myself, and I don't know what the hell happened to our Object 140 there. It didn't look pleasant. Did he get his head blown off? Can't see. I want to know, did he get ammo? Because if not, that's just... No, don't think he did. How do you manage to die that quickly on this map? Like, why was he even there? I don't know. So working this middle position, it's quite ambitious of the lightweight to be trying to spot. You only get a 390 meter view range on the lightweight, and for a tier 8 light tank, that is seriously disappointing. That Lerva has more base view range than I do. Lerva has 400 meters, which is remarkable for a tier 8 heavy, but oh, it looks like the Object 140 got murdered by the arty. Okay, and that Lerva just got... Wow, this is going swimmingly, isn't it? Oh, Archie, thou art so balanced. But yeah, 390 meters base view range. And it does make it an interesting argument for me, whether to set this tank up as a scout tank, because I never felt like it was. You know, it's like that 1390 gameplay review I did yesterday. I talked about how the 1390 could be set up as a scout tank with binars, cannonet, and optics without losing any other pieces of equipment, because it can't mount vert stabs, it can't mount a gun rammer. This is one of the tanks that really has to go through that debate when you first set up the tank, or when you learn how your playstyle is adapting to the tank, whether you are playing more aggressively or whether you are playing with a scout mentality, because both of them can be done in T-54 lightweight. It's got that manner of versatility, but I just feel like you owe it to yourself to set this tank up as a damage support unit, because if you are playing it like a scout, you're just not getting the most out of this vehicle. You know, you owe it to yourself to be using that turret armor. That's what it's there for, you know. It's one of the few light tanks that can play aggressively, and so you really want to be doing that. So my recommendation for equipment, and what I believe I'm using here, is vert stabs, a gun rammer, and vents, which allow me to be very, very versatile. You see me hiding from the arty here. Allow me to be very versatile in a combat engagement, just a supporting role. Looking at this IS-20, looking at his movements, I had a feeling in this game that he was gonna come out and try and kill that T-37, and then suddenly IS-8 pops out of nowhere. Now, we missed that shot, and maybe worth talking about the gun for a moment here. It has 8 rounds per minute, 175mm of pen with AP, and 235 with APCR. Now, that's not awful. It's about what you'd expect for tier 8 light tank. It's in the lower range, sort of Well, actually, thinking about it, it's quite poor, isn't it, considering its relation to the 1390, that 175 base pen, but the 1390 gets 248mm with APCR, yet down here you're at 225. The WZ will have higher base pen with the 100mm gun, and the RU251 obviously has 191, I think, millimeters of pen, which is just fantastic. One of the reasons why I love the RU. It gets heat as well, so we can't talk about premium ammo, but .38 accuracy is what you get on the T-54 lightweight, and it's not really fantastic, especially for engagements at long range. You saw that almost fully aimed shot plough into the ground shooting at the IS-8. 2.2 second aim time, which is not bad, but far from remarkable. Do manage to put a shot from a fairly weak side armor at the IS-8. And these guys are just diving into a really poor position. You can see whenever we poke forward here, we are going hull down of this land ahead of me. And I believe at this point I must have been paranoid about arty, but counting on this lay of the land above me. And throughout this entire engagement, yeah, I am looking behind me, Vard. Throughout this entire engagement, I'm just thinking, well, these guys are dead. Like, I am feeling under no pressure whatsoever. Like, I am so relaxed about this engagement because we have an IS-8 there, we have a Carnarvon there, we have a 51-100 who may well jump on them in a minute, we have an E-50M who can snipe in from the lunges, we have an IS-20, we have Patton behind me, and we have two arty. Like, these guys are just in such terrible positions that I don't need to be concerned at any point. And there you go. Archie picks up a kill, does a load of damage to another vehicle as well. Electing to fire APCR here, I guess, at those IS tanks. Switching back to APCR now, and we find the object 140. We reverse in front of him to bait him into ramming us, then using the great mobility of the T-54 lightweight pull forward, managed to dodge his ram. And I really do not know what this guy was hoping would come of that. Trying to work the 5 degrees of gun depression on the T-54 lightweight. I remember playing this game. This very second I said, well, that Object 140 is dead. And I believe, yep. Basically exactly what I said in game as well. And the enemy team just seemed to be following suit. They're just like, it went so well for everyone else down here. I know, I'll do it as well. So I'm just like, okay. So I dive into this nest of dead enemy tanks. Use my fantastic mobility. Now, the mobility of the T-54 lightweight it's an odd thing, because its horsepower to ton ratio, I believe, is 22.5, somewhere around there, which is not the best of the tier 8 light tanks. It's not the worst. I believe the WZ-122's horsepower per ton is actually worse. But where this tank finds its speed is in its amazing ground resistance. Its ground resistance, if you compare it to the T-54, it's just phenomenal. It is better on all types of terrain. I believe it's almost 1 entire degree better at resisting terrain on soft terrain, which is what I'm on now, circling this E75. The mobility also helped by a track reverse of, I believe, 48, somewhere around there, combined with its track reverse of 50, makes it one of the most mobile light tanks. It's just, this tank is so much faster than you'd think it would be. You hear about the lightweight with its mobility and its armor, and you don't give it the credit that it deserves when you first hear about it. But this tank is so fast. It is so fast. And this E75 just has absolutely no hope, but we donk out a bit driving, managed to get ourselves stuck on the IS-8 there. That Batchat has said in chat to me that he's got 12 seconds left on his reload. So I think, well, okay, and I call fire on the U-75 and start distancing myself from his tank. And wabam! Just that basic, right there, that basically sums up Sand River defensive assault. I mean, it's so unbalanced. It is so unbalanced. What we've got, what they should have done, oh, my camera is auto moving again. I still haven't worked out how to stop it doing that when I did it, yay! So what they should have done is come over the top. I want to cover this maneuver quickly, because given what just happened there, a lot of people don't know about it, and it is so important. Take the middle position. And you must, unless you're doing it in the middle of the game when you spy an opportunity, if you want to do it at the start of the game like they did, or at an early stage in the game like they did, you have got to come over the top. You have got to come down here. Now, why is that? Let's have a look at the other ways of taking the middle, shall we? So, if a force of tanks comes down here and starts attacking down this way, they are dead. Because what is going to happen is they cannot access the middle, they cannot work this position, because there will be tanks like me and other medium tanks up here. And the reason why that's such a problem is simply because, imagine, if you are trying to dig out someone above you, you get spotted here by people above you there, and they can use these lunch lines to hide from you, they don't need to engage you. If you want to dig them out now, they are not going to let you kill them from here. You have to come all the way round, all the way up. They're still hiding behind there. They're still hiding behind here. You're coming all the way up below them to try and kill them. And at this point, you get killed by the enemy arty and everyone infesting these lunch lines behind you. And the TD is going to be stationed over there, as well as the IS-8 and Carnarvon. You cannot dig out people on this high ground by coming down that way. You must go over the top in order to do it, because it's the only way to get them out without having to come up from under them. And obviously, I really don't need to explain what happens when you try and take it from this side, because, yeah, these guys were just getting shot in the ass by these guys and me frontally, hold down over that land in front of us. Yeah, it's hopeless. I hate what they've done to this map, I really do. Because it used to be a very fun map. But I feel like when Wargaming made the changes to the map, I feel like they forsook the assault game mode. On almost all of the maps, they just forgot that the assault game mode existed. I'm going back to the middle here, and I do spot that Leo on the map, and I watched my stream highlight of this again so that I could give a realistic interpretation of what I was actually thinking in the game, because this was a while ago, patch 9.9 I believe. And I believe I said I think that Leo might shoot me in the ass, but I really want to put out some fire here, because if that 40T gets in behind on the health that he was on, he could have been quite deadly. That 215B, is he a one-shot? Yeah, he is a one-shot, so I really did want to prioritize getting damage into this guy, but the Death Star does indeed destroy him. Now, this has the potential to be a problem. Our guys are not in a position to give supporting fire anymore, and I as much as I might consider kiting this guy up here, he's got an autoloader, and during this moment, after I bounced off his tongue, I was considering two things. Well, I'll say what goes into my mind when thinking about this engagement. I can kite him up a path, he'll waste one shot on my pattern will die. I can kite him up the path, he will get killed by my arty, but the enemy arty are much better than mine, and the only way I'd be able to survive against this 5100 for long enough so that my arty could reload and kill him would be to hide behind this lurver, and that puts me in prime position to get murdered by the enemy arty. And so I know that if I stay here, anywhere around here, the only result that's going to happen is my imminent and not very graceful death. So, considering all my options, I decide, right, let's do this. And so, we just push completely out of the middle and decide, yep, not staying down there anymore. And we've basically completely turned the game on its head with that single maneuver right there. We've now taken the high ground and we can now use it to adequately defend base, and I believe that this 5100 is in a horrible, horrible position now. So, you see the T-30 appear on the left side of the screen, and I catch that in the live game as well. And so I start using the lurver to shield myself from his fire while I finish off the 5100. Obviously, I don't want to stay behind the lurver because of what I said earlier about arties. I do want to get out of there while I can, while that T-30 was still moving. I thought it would be the best time to move myself. And see, although this tank can't compete with the rate of fire of the RU-251, which is just phenomenal. The RU has such beautiful DPM. His gun is consistent. It's a good supporting gun. It's not fantastic, but it will certainly do the job. Now, I'm working to take down these buildings, not because I want to do a massive amount of damage to this guy, but because I know that I've got an auto-loading arty still in the game, and if I can take out these buildings, I load high explosive here to give myself a better chance of taking out more of the buildings so that my arty can have a chance to win the game. I know I'm not going to be able to win the game right now because of that 30B out wide is camping up on these trench lines. There's no position that I can work where I can win the game on this trench line. There's just not, and if I go down I get killed by the enemy arty. I have to keep the high ground and I have to keep my mobility, and I have to spot for my artillery. That is the only chance we're going to have of resetting the cap enough. 3 minutes left to win this game. What the... FPS win. 261's trapped his man pants on. Come over. Look how mobile this tank is. I mean, we're turning and we're not losing any speed while doing it. I see the T-32 behind me, but I really do need to be getting spots up so that my arty can shoot into the base. We get nabbed by the 30B camping at the back, and our batcher arty, instead of shooting at the cap to try and win the game, goes for the easy kills on the enemy arty because he's a fool. I don't know why he would shoot at the enemy arty in that situation when I spent ages knocking down buildings in the cap for the sole purpose. I mean, look, all these buildings we knocked down. He has clear shots at everywhere, at every tank in the cap, and yet he wastes his shells on 2 enemy arty. I don't know. I really don't know. Target prioritization was not a thing there. Now, is there anything else I want to cover? I'll let the game run. Now, I said at the start of the game that you have a 99% chance to win when defending. I guess this was the 1%. I still stand by my word that it is more or less impossible for you to win this game if you are attacking. It just will not happen. You will never manage it. It just does not happen. You do not win this game mode. It's just, I know I'm talking as they have won, but my team was so incompetent here that they'd make some children's cartoons seem like Albert Einstein's personal diary. I mean, it's just, they really didn't do an awful lot. So, the key manoeuvre to this game was taking the lunch line when the 5100 came up below us. We seized our opportunity to take the high ground, which put us back in contention for winning it. Maybe if our arty had focused up, we'd have come closer. I don't think, unless our arty had played very, very well indeed and spaced out his 4 shells. He has a 4-shell autoloader, 6 seconds between the shells. If he had waited between the shells and got a hit with every one of them, we might have been able to win it, but very, very unlikely. And to be honest, I don't know how the enemy won this game. I don't know at what point they got to win, to be honest. Our team just seemed to slowly die. I mean, the enemy lost 2 tier 9s, 3 tier 8s, and 1 tier 10 right here in this engagement at the start of the game, during which we only lost a T-37. So, how does... I don't know. Maybe it's the archer, I guess we'll see. I will leave the link to these post-battle results in the description down below, and I thoroughly hope you've enjoyed the game. Until next time, gentlemen, farewell. Get out. Ow! My word! Okay. Cargo!
I've gotta put out in those series, just to keep them chucking all the tanks off of them.
God damn it, Wargaming! Hey, I can see my house from here. Oh my god! This dance was better. As in better than you little bitch.